Okay,
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Long Talk Radio.
You have just entered into the hard truth with your host, Muhammad on Truth. Giving you the hot air zone.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا فمن يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. First, let me greet everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to all the Muslims throughout the world. And greetings and peace to all of our non-Muslim listeners who are listening tonight, maybe for the first time or for the second time or the third time. Welcome to our show. Whether you're here with good intentions or bad intentions, you are always welcome to the hard truth. Alhamdulillah. So the other day, it was this, I guess, this conversation on Facebook about a brother who has a wife and he wants to marry someone else. So I put this scenario up myself, and it got a lot of ramping.
Ranting?
No, not ranting. They were ramping.
What does that mean?
It was like they was just jumping on. Everybody was jumping on.
Okay.
People had a lot to say. Put it like that. So anyway,
What just about him marrying another white period?
no, I'm about to break it down. So what it was, I posted, if I was to take another wife, and I was just posting this just to get some feedback. If I was to take another wife, she would have to already be established. And I would tell her that, you know, you would have to help out. Wow. When I said that, boy, did the sisters go in. And I left it there. I really didn't want to explain it right there and then. I just want to see what people would say, what their take on it would be. You know, how would they approach the situation? Because a lot of times people become very superficial. They forget about the times we're living in. They forget about the struggles that we have. They forget about everything else. So tonight, inshallah, on the show, we want to talk about the rights. We want to talk about justice, as opposed to being just, as opposed to being fair.
Mm-hmm.
We want to talk about the difference of people doing things for the akhirah as opposed to doing it for this worldly life. And also the difficulties of being in polygyny in today's society. So inshallah, everybody stay tuned. I hope you got your tea. I hope you got your coffee or whatever. If you got your husband and wife with you, snug up with them, you know, get a cover or something. And inshallah, enjoy the hard truth. If you don't have that, just get you a nice big blanket, and we're giving you a brotherly or sister hug from right here, inshallah. So we'll be right back in the hard truth.
Do you install doors, replace the back window, or maybe add on to your home, build a shed in your backyard, or build the dream home you always wanted? Look no further. Mission Associates Property Maintenance and Contracting will help make your dreams a reality. Your pricing, quality work, and honest Muslims. Mission Associates will be your first and final stop, inshallah. Give them a call at 770-504-5993 or email smithapc@gmail.com. If you own multiple units, ask about our maintenance program, located in the Atlanta area and servicing surrounding cities. Mission Associates Property Maintenance and Contracting, 770-504-5993. Got any ideas? Give us a call.
Alhamdulillah. So let's first let's get into the rights of the men and the women. What are the rights of men and women in Islam when it comes to marriage?
Well, first of all, I mean, what do you mean in terms of polygyny or just in terms of marriage?
In terms of marriage.
What are the rights?
Yeah.
She has a right. A woman has a right to be taken care of, food, clothing, and shelter, which are basic necessities. She has a right to earn her own money and keep it.
Mm-hmm.
She also has rights over the husband in certain areas that we won't get into deep, and he has rights over her in areas that we won't get into deep.
She has the right to be kept at a status that she's used to.
At a status that she's used to.
Meaning, if she's used to eating steak every night,
then you gotta
steak every night.
Bring it to that level. But I think what a lot of people fail to realize is that Islam really gave women rights. The women had no rights before that. Before that era, women had no rights. Even if you look back into France in the 1400s, they were actually having a, what do you call those things when they get together and discuss stuff? Like
Congress.
Yeah, they were having a Congress to say if women were actually human beings.
Mm-hmm.
They were trying to say they were demons and all this other stuff. So Islam is the first deen to allow women to inherit money, to have their own money, to make their own decisions. You know, we can't in Islam. There's no compulsion in marriage. You can't force, a father can't force a daughter to marry, even though, you know, people do this type of thing. That's all cultural and other things. But basically, you know, the rights that we have upon each other is to try to help each other to Jannah. That's why people always say, oh, marriage is half my deen. I think people may be looking at this wrong. The reason it's half your deen, well, in my opinion, is because you, who are you, have to deal with someone else's personality on an everyday basis. You have to deal with someone else's idiosyncrasies and these other different things that, you know, when we was doing boyfriend girlfriend thing, I dropped you off at your crib. That's it.
That was it. There was no
constant interaction.
Well, and there was no
responsibility.
You know. And I want to go back before we go too far deep.
Okay.
Let's start with the food, clothing, and shelter.
Yeah.
Now, today's women say that you're supposed to go beyond that. You know, they expect beyond that. Now, alhamdulillah, anything a man does beyond that, he should try to make his family comfortable, of course. But anything a man does beyond that is sadaqah. Because Allah said that we have to maintain them with the food, clothing, and shelter. We got to make sure they have those three essential things.
What does that mean? I mean, what level?
Well, that means according to what she's used to. You know, according to what she's used to. It's not necessarily a thing where, even though we do it as men, you know, to take care of our families, but it's not a thing where, okay, pay the cell phone bill, put gas in the car. We just do those things because that's something that men do. You know, but in all actuality, it's not an obligation on us.
Cell phones, cable.
Yeah, cell phone, cable, you know.
I mean, and then even when you look at the food, clothing, and shelter, I mean, if the brother has rice in the house and some kind of dal or some masala or something, that's food, right?
I have no idea what masala is.
Oh, it's
a type of salad.
Pakistani food.
Masala?
No, masala.
Masala?
Yeah, it's like Pakistani food. Like dal is like this paste stuff.
From Pakistan, I know biryani.
Okay, so he has really
have that chicken.
Yeah, so he has some of those things. So we'll just say basic things like he has, like, you know, rice and maybe some meat here and there, like this and that and the other. The funny thing about it is that we're Muslims, right? Is that what we say we are, right? We're Muslims.
That's what we claim.
Our example is the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Muhammad ibn Abdullah. He did not live like we are expecting to live today. Yo, they said that when the Rasulullah would wake up for Qiyam al-Layl, that they were like, he would tap Aisha's feet. And that was proof Because you know, remember there was a deal with Imam Shafi'i and the other imams about what lahm was, what it was to touch. They said that wudu, if you touched your wife, you broke your wudu, like touched her skin.
No.
But that was a proof that they used to say, well, you know, that's not, because he moved her feet, and that would have broken his wudu. He was in salah. But that showed that they said her living quarters were maybe 4 by 6 feet.
The living quarters was small.
Very small. So they said they never seen a fire burning twice, 2 days in a row in his house. He would fast constantly. They said, I remember I was listening to I was looking at reading about his bread in Jamil Intermediate about his bread. The Sahaba couldn't believe, you know how wheat, you crush it down and it becomes fine powder? They said he would do one once, like, and it would be like almost like sticks and stuff like that. And this is what they said he ate. And the people couldn't believe it. It was so little. There was so little, but we don't have that type of iman and that concept of what we're going to talk about in a minute, the dunya and the akhirah.
The worldly life. And the problem is we have been too, we're going to talk about later on too, we have been too connected to this worldly life and not the hereafter. And that's one of our biggest, that's what a lot of our problems come in at. If I did a conference a few years back, well, probably about 12, 13 years back. It was the conference called Divorcing the Dunya. And
Divorcing the Dunya?
Divorcing the Dunya. Divorcing this worldly life.
Oh, can't do that these days. Because once you start doing that, then you become a zahid. No, they wouldn't even call you a zahid. That's a good name.
You gotta say the English word so people, I got people listening now.
An ascetic. You become an ascetic. So now if you do that now you on a golden carpet. You're floating in the air because this is part of the deen.
But imagine how peaceful and how easy our lives will be.
Yo, listen.
First of all, we live above our means.
All day.
We spend money we don't have. That's what people do.
Or we spend money that's unnecessary to spend.
Exactly.
Look, like even
wasting money.
Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Like when you look at our houses, our cars, our clothes, our food, I have probably enough stoves I can give
clothes, no shoes,
no sneakers. I got sneakers piled up here. Don't even wear them.
When I need something, I have to go to this closet and get what I need.
And I won't even know if it was missing or not. But I think what we've been talking about, what all this leads to, is two things. We grew up in a Western society, and people can't shake it. People can't shake it. People try to.
You can't shake it.
No, I'm saying I'm not saying you can't. I'm saying that people aren't. They're holding on to the Western viewpoint, the paradigm of what things is, and trying to intermingle it with Islam. But one of the major problems is I think that what's happening now is people are not studying, and they're not learning about the deen. They're not learning about the struggles of Rasul Islam, the 3-year boycott. They're not learning that this man had the whole Arabian Peninsula at one time and sold his own clothes. Umar, when he walked into Jerusalem, they thought he was a servant. What is it, 13 or 14 packages? It's always
because he actually got off his horse and let somebody else ride. Let
the servant ride. They was going back and forth. And then it just happened to be when they got close to Jerusalem, it was his turn to walk. And I remember that they said that they walked through, there's like it's muddy or something. And they came up and they was like, and I think Qab ibn Malik, or one of them said, this is not how. He was like, what? And he said, I forget the quote. He was
saying because he said, you are the minimum you need. You are the leader of the believers. So therefore, when people see you, you should be clean. You should be pristine. You should be like, wow, look at it.
He said, Islam raised us up, not clothing or something to that sort. I want to find it.
So anyway, so we live beyond our means. So we get back to food, clothing, and shelter. Imagine if we just stuck to those few things. How many of us can actually give up this worldly life to the point where, yeah, we got to work, you know, we have some enjoyment, but is our enjoyment to the point where we are keeping ourselves impoverished?
$2,000.
$2,000
For this, and this thing and this Mac here, it's about $2 grand. What could I have done with that?
Alhamdulillah, using it for good stuff.
Alhamdulillah.
And you know, my phone, I use it to make money. Use your phone to make money.
Yeah.
My phone, I would say 65% of my business comes with my phone.
Yeah.
Probably more than that.
Allah has given us, you know, it seems like that's like gold.
I need to upgrade mine. Mine's cracking.
But one of the things you were talking about food, clothing, and shelter. This is going to go to another point. We're not going to get deep into this point, but choosing the proper mate for the proper reasons. We always go after the one that's hot, the pretty one, she's beautiful.
High maintenance.
Yeah, high maintenance or whatever the situation is. And we don't go after someone who has some substance. Because the thing is if I got diseases in my heart, which everyone has, but if mine are like yours, you can't help me. And I can't help you. All we're going to do is bring each other down. You know, but if, like, for instance, yours may not be like mine. Say mine is arrogance or pride or something like that, and yours is lust or something like that. We can work together, because what affects me is not really working on you. You can remind me of that. And I think that part of the problem is that one of the major things they did when we look back at that the Confessions of a British Spy. What did he tell them when he went back? He says the average man and woman knows more about his deen, more about his religion than our Christian scholars.
The average Muslim man.
Yeah, the average Muslim knows more about his religion than our scholars know about our religion.
But we don't implement.
We don't, but that was the 1920s. We don't know anything now. You know, because you know the reality of the situation, and this is part of what we talk. This is all tying into the food, clothing, and shelter.
Yeah.
A real Muslim. Check out Muslim for Real on Facebook too. It's really good. A real Muslim doesn't need many things. Yo, you know how much
doesn't want many things.
Doesn't need or want.
I'm gonna tell you. The Prophet said. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, "Be in this world as if you're a mufassir, as if you are a traveler." Think about a traveler. What does a traveler carry? If I'm traveling,
basically,
do I want to carry 10 luggages and bags?
Yo, you get off the train in Philly and got a couch with you. Got your couch, your TV.
So what's the point? The point is that we only carry in this world the things that are a necessity for us, because we understand that our Jannah, we want the paradise, and we don't really care about this world. So now we have people who are making it hard upon ourselves to practice Islam based on our lifestyles, the things that we're demanding in our lifestyle.
You can't practice Islam if you're on Facebook 8 hours a day. You can't practice Islam if you watching movies all day. Listen, I'll tell you something that somebody said to me, it broke my heart. Somebody that knew me for a while came up to me. I've been working really hard. Everybody knows I've been like, you know, you have your own businesses. You have to really, really work hard.
Harder.
You work so hard. There's no downtime. There's no, oh, well, you know, you working in the middle of the night when you wake up. You know, you working all day long because you're doing everything. When you got a regular job, when you go to a job, you do your job. You don't have to worry about taxes. You don't have to worry about none of this stuff. It's all things we have to do. And people are like, yo, man, I don't see you no more. You're really busy. And I'm like, you know, alhamdulillah. But the thing is I noticed a brother, man, you know who he is. He came to me the other day and he was like, bro, you super busy. He said, don't let shaitan pull you away from your studies. And it's always thinking, I got to get something done. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. And what always takes the hit is Islam. The money never takes the hit. You're always going for the dollar. the Islam never takes the hit. So if we would learn and look back at those generations, that's why I believe that when you come into Islam, if you look at Usul al-Thalatha, which is one of the best books for basic Aqidah and basic understanding of Islam, it says I'll say it in English, it says there are 4 things incumbent upon you. Know Allah, know the Messenger, know the Deen of Islam with its proofs. Know Allah and know the Messenger. So when you know Allah, you know who your Rabb is. When you know the Messenger, you know how to implement the Quran in and of itself. And then I believe you know the Sahaba, because then you know how to follow the Messenger of Allah.
Sure.
They didn't have a lot, man.
Well, you know, let's get back, because we talk about the rights of the women. And let's talk about the rights of the men. All right? And we know the rights of the men are what for, right? It is to he has the right
to protect his household and his honor.
So the woman has to protect the man's household and his honor. That she cannot expel the secrets of the house. She cannot bring someone in the house that he does not want in the house. And she has to come to him whenever he calls upon her. The Prophet ﷺ said, even if she's baking bread, and you know, when you bake bread, you gotta watch bread, because you know you'll burn it. So he said that, you know, if the man desires his wife, she should come to him even if she's baking bread. And the Prophet ﷺ said a woman who leaves her husband's bed is cursed until she returns. She's cursed by the angels until she returns back to the bed. Now, now we look at these things and you think about it. There is a situation.
Yeah, for question.
What's that?
Before you get to that point. Now, okay. This is this type of thing right here. You explain that to me, and I see why things are the way they are. Now, you tell that to a man who has a disease in his heart, who is not striving for tarbiyat to nas or taskil to nas. He's not trying to purify himself. He's just, I'm a Muslim. You tell him that, now it begins, that could turn into some kind of thing where you gotta be, if he's not giving her what she needs.
Well, let's get to that.
Okay.
What I was saying is, if you look at the way Allah sets it up, for the man's point and the woman's point, the man has an obligation to take care of the woman. She has an obligation to obey him if he does what he's supposed to do. All right, that's how it works. It's set up. It's a balance. It's a balanced idea, or a balanced way of life, the way Allah has it set up. Once the balance is ruptured, and I'm going to remind you people, we live in a society that is anti-Islamic. You have to remember that.
Anti-black male.
Yeah, anti-black folks.
No, actually anti-black male more than anything else.
But the thing is, in order for us to really practice Islam, we got to let go of the TVs. We got to let go of the music. We got to let go of doing everything that the non-Muslim does, because everything they do is geared to pleasing themselves first. It's not geared to pleasing Allah first. It's not geared to pleasing their Lord first. It's all geared to me. And this, I mean, if you look at society now, I mean, we talk about all the time, 2 men married, 2 women married, a man marrying his dog. People, you can drink and drive and kill somebody and, you know, get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
You know, it's so much stuff out here that is so disruptive to the structure of the family home. It is pathetic. Things are not the way they were back in the old days. Internet, dangerous. TV, dangerous.
Yo, families don't even interact unless it's on some type of device. Like, yo, you in the next room. Like, my mom texts me. My mom calls me on a cell phone. I never remember that. Like, and you know what? It's weird because you deal with people less when these type of things happen. When you don't have a phone, anything you need, you gotta come see me, get to see the brother's face, talk to the brother, find out if he needs anything. These things, all these things, whatever Allah has for us, on this planet, whatever he put here for us, is of benefit and detriment depending how it's used. When your iman is low, then you use things in an improper fashion. Like the cell phone can be a very beneficial thing. So can the laptop. But it can also be something that can send you straight to the hellfire. Facebook, I mean, on the fence about that. It's a very good marketing tool.
But it's a big fitna too.
No. That's why I said I'm on the fence about that. It's an extremely good marketing tool because you can get out to people. There's a lot of people, everybody's, you know, and there's brothers and I guess sisters also that post good, you know, good things that may, you know, heart softeners and, you know, you catch something nice. But for the most part, it's horrid.
Well, the Prophet, what is Facebook? It's the soul. It's this, like you said, it's marketing. The Prophet used to seek refuge in Allah from the evil of the soul, the evil of the marketplace. It's no different than going to Kroger's or somewhere and still dealing with the same thing, except it's more prevalent. It's more at your fingertips here. You know, and people become who they want to be and not who they are. You know what I'm saying? People become who they want to be and not who they. Remember that song, that old song back in the day, Street Life? You know, he said in the street life, you know, let the people see who you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, even though you might have been this nerdy, scared of everybody guy, but when you get somewhere else, you become this big hardcore gangster that all of a sudden everybody's afraid of.
Everybody's a shake. Every woman is so
man, they got scholars and shakes all over.
I mean, yo, YouTube got at least 300 million scholars. Sheikhs, I mean, everybody's giving fatwa. I mean, you know, yeah. Like even with that being said, I remember I was listening to I think I forget who it was. It was either Fahmeen or Fauzan or both of them were sitting or something. I don't know. But he said, and this is for all the scholars too, scholars from the past, 600-700 years ago. They said the best teacher and the only teacher truly is someone that sits with you and goes over the books with you. Yo, my Arabic teacher, Khalifa, Hafidahullah, may Allah preserve him. I've been with him for years, and I've learned more from him about things that I could never have gotten on my own. Just little tidbits, like, you know, you'll hear something about many people probably don't even notice. In the last ayah of Surah Al-Fatiha, what does it talk about? What does it say? غَيْرِ الْمَغْضُوبِ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا الضَّالِينَ, right? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes with the next two surahs are connected to that. Not of those who have received Allah's anger or those who have gone astray upon their own. Because of this grammatical structure, the two different structures of the word means two different things. But the point being is that then right after that, the next surah is called Surah Al-Baqarah, which talks about the Jews. He said, Ghayr al-Maghdubi, talks about the Jews. Then he says, Wala Dalin, talks about the Christians. So he gave you 486 ayats after that, explaining what he meant by this. SubhanAllah. You know, and it's just, we just don't follow the sunnah. So all this, that's why polygyny don't work now.
We're putting everything in perspective till we get to the meat potatoes. Because the problem is, a lot of times the people don't want to dig deep. They want to just go on the surface. Astaghfirullah. Oh, how can you say that, brother? We're saying it because there's a reason behind what we're saying. It's not because we're just coming off our heads and saying, okay, this is what the situation is. Let's dig deep. Let's see why things are the way. Why marriages not? We don't talk about polygyny. How come marriages don't work? Why do people always struggle in regular marriage?
Everybody's getting and you know what's weird? What's the weirdest thing I've experienced since I've become a Muslim? I've seen almost every time a Muslim couple has broken up, it's always been a khula. I rarely see brothers divorcing their wives. It's always women. I want out. Like something happens and they I don't know what dudes are doing. I don't know what's going on, but we're talking about having polygynous relationships when we can't even have regular relationships. We don't even know how to deal with one person, let alone two people. Now you got two people squawking in the air, emotions are flying, all these different things. But the sad part about it is it's necessary. It's becoming necessary. Dudes are getting locked up left and right. Muslims.
Dudes are turning to women.
Dudes are turning into women. There's wars being fought. More women children are born every year. This is a statistic. More women children are born, female children are born every year than men. So what happens is if you got 10 million women and 7 million men, 3 million women don't have a mate. So how do we solve this problem? And it's not an easy solution because a lot of the people that become Muslims, if we look at we're just going to go to our people. If we look at the black Muslim population that really practice Islam, really practice or really on the path trying to learn, trying to implement the Sunnah, trying to establish communities, what are they? What are they? They're mostly poor. A lot of them have felonies. They're mostly poor people. And this is what the Rasulullah ﷺ said would happen. The poor people, because we don't have anything. So, it don't matter to us. We don't feel like we're going to lose something. Well, I'm not growing a beard. I have a business to take. I work at, Saks Fifth Avenue. I'm not going to, we don't have that about us. We don't care.
A lot of people will shave their beards just to work at that corporate job. And a lot of us will say, forget that corporate job. I want to be more pleasing to my Lord. So what we're giving you people is the things that you have to think about before you just jump the gun and say, no, this ain't right, this ain't right. You have to think about these things. Okay, you said something earlier I wanted to piggyback on. I can't remember what it was.
We don't eat pork. Khinzir.
From piggybacking. That means I was on the back of a pig, not eating the pig.
You touched it.
Anyway, you can touch the pig. Where y'all get that from?
Where you get what from?
That you can't touch a pig.
I didn't say you couldn't touch it, but why would you?
Why not? It's an animal. It's an animal of Allah. See, people used to use y'all take me somewhere else. People used to use the pigs back in the day to eat the garbage. That was their job. They didn't have landfills, and if you use what Allah gave you, the world would be so much cleaner right now. They would have put stuff in landfills and turn it over, then turn it back over. Anyway, so a brother tells a sister, I'm married. And he tells the sister, but listen, inshallah, I really strive to be a good Muslim. I really strive to really worship my Lord.
We have to go back
and do those things. Why?
Because there's a point that we have to make before you get into this point.
Which one was that?
Listen, this is the point. People be always dogging the Muslims about polygyny. Everybody, except the Muslims. Even a lot of the Muslim sisters are talking about polygyny. Yeah. Check this out. Polygyny was not brought into existence by the Muslims. It was rectified by Islam. If you look at ancient Greece, ancient Rome, all these places, all the Christian societies, they were allowed to have one wife, but it was also legal. It was legal for them to have as many mistresses as they wanted from the slave population. So you have thousands of bastard children running around the place. Their dad is the king, and they're eating garbage. What Islam did is said, okay, we know how we created. Allah says we know how we created man. So what we're going to do is we're going to give him what he's going to do anyway, but we're going to make him be responsible for the situation. You know what I'm saying? And not sleeping with some other man's wife and get killed or whatever like that. I just wanted to make that point known because a lot of people don't know that. Everybody thinks that Islam was the first people to bring polygyny in. We were the first. Islam was the first to make it a responsible, a responsible transaction between responsible people.
Polygyny has been practiced from the time of Abraham. They say that was his right hand
Hydra.
Yeah, but that was actually his wife.
Yeah.
You know, and people try to, you know, people always gonna try to downplay something and try to screw with it and mess it up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so a man goes to a sister and he says, "Sis, you know, talks to the wife, like, listen, all I can afford to put in this household is this much money a month." This is what he says. Can you take your other half? Now hear me out. I'm going to teach you your Islam. Might teach you Arabic. Might teach you how to read Quran. Might teach you Quran itself. Make sure you pray. Make sure you have the right covering. Be a protector for you. Be a companion. You know, all these good things. You load up all these good things. And then you have this one thing that he says, I can only do this much of this.
I don't care about any of that stuff you talking about. You need to pay the bills, because that's what this ayat right here said. Yo, they may not know another ayat in the Quran, but they know the ayat where it says you have to take care of them. I mean, boy, they don't know a lick of Arabic. Know that one, you know what I'm saying?
Know the ins and outs of it.
You know the tafsir, the sort of everything about it.
So my question to our listeners out there, and our number is 347-324-3601. That's 347-324-3601. We want to hear from you guys, especially our sisters. If a brother presents this to you, he says, listen, I have a wife already. I can only put $1,500 a month or $1,000 a month in this house. Is that too much?
I don't know. I don't know. There, right? I mean, yeah, I don't know what situation.
So the man says I can put. Yes, she gotta be single.
No, I'm saying no. I don't mean single. I mean like she doesn't. I mean
she got kids. Something.
Yeah, I mean she has kids.
Say she got kids. She got a couple kids. But he says I can only put $1,000 a month in this house. That's all I can do.
Is that going to cover food, clothing, and shelter?
I'm telling you what he said he can give.
See now.
I don't know. See, I don't know. We're not getting to the technical part of what it covers. This is what he's saying all he can do. This is what he's saying. This is all I can give to you.
If that's not going to cover food, clothing, and shelter, he's done. No.
Says who?
What do you mean he says who? He says the men are the maintainers.
Of what?
Of food, clothing, and shelter,
and
which
else?
is a basic necessity.
And what else? There's more to it than that now.
Explain.
There's the deen.
Oh yeah, well that's ma'ruf.
Okay, there's the emotional concept. Yeah. There's the protection from the hellfire. So the sister will have to go out to this in that. Yeah. That she has someone to release herself onto.
So right? Basically, what you're trying to say is,
what I'm saying is,
no.
What I'm saying is, we're living in a realistic time.
Yeah.
Most men who practice Islam, who try to practice Islam correctly, are not men with money. We don't go get loans from the bank. When I say we, I don't mean like I'm striving. I'm not that man. I'm a piece of speck of dirt trying to be that man. Mm-hmm. Anyway, we can't get a loan from the bank. We're not going to sell drugs. We're not going to rob nobody. We're not going to steal from nobody. We're not going to do no checks and all that goofy stuff. Mm-hmm. We're going to work honest. We're going to be honest as possible. And so we might tell the sister, yes, I like you, but I can't afford another family right now. This is all I can afford. What are you willing to compromise?
Sisters are. I know sisters will. And you know what's funny? But see, that's the thing, man.
You know what's funny? The ones who say they won't be the main ones who will.
But the point is like, we have to take into consideration, like you said, what the times we live in. Mm-hmm. We live in a society that everything is money. Yo, regular everyday life.
Everything is money.
Yo, listen, this is the reason that our Islam is the way it is. This is part of the reason. Yo, we gotta get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go make salah. After that, I mean, do you even get ready for work? Do you even have time to get 15 minutes of hifz? You can't even memorize Quran. You do this, that, other. You got to get the kids ready. By the time you done got from Salah and got to the crib and got the kids ready and got yourself ready, it's 8 o'clock. You have no time. You got to be to work at 9. You got to be whatever time. Boom, you out the door. You have done nothing for Allah. Nothing. So now you out there all day amongst the non-Muslims. If you work in that environment, you amongst the non-Muslims for 10 hours a day, and all you hearing is about empire and money and puffy and this one got that and this and this and this and this and this and this and that. Now, there are a lot of good sisters out here, I would believe.
A lot of them.
But the problem is if the brothers really want to do that, then they have to make the effort to get that money. That's how I look at it.
But but see, you just said a mouthful. You first of all, you said, get up, pray Fajr, get 15 minutes of hips in, go to work, right? Now, imagine if a brother's out there working 2 or 3 jobs. He misses Salat. He ain't read no Quran. So that brother she married for the deen, notice that he's working so hard to take care of 2 families that what? His deen is starting to dwindle. I experienced that. You see what I'm saying?
Like where you working like 16 hours a day, and they like, yo, I thought you was gonna teach me this. We're like, yo, I'm tired.
I'm tired. So the point is, how do we find that balance? And not only do we find that balance, how do we protect the rest of our man? If you go on Facebook right now, but 75% of the women on there are single. Come, I want to get married. I can't wait to get married. And then when you look at them and you got like these niqabis and stuff, they're talking about they want to get married. They're like, oh, I got a brother, I'm about to get married. And you go look at this guy on Facebook, like, wow, this is who she's marrying. Like, whoa,
Pickens is slim, dude. Pickens is slim, yo.
Exactly. So my point is, if Pickens are so slim, what is a sister willing to say, I will forego to get that brother? Because remember, a brother that's really trying to strive in his deen to do the right thing, 9 times out of 10 he's already married.
Of course.
9 times out of 10 he's already married.
No, listen.
So
if you're a halfway decent Muslim, you could have a missing leg, a missing arm, whatever going on. If you can halfway decent, like, don't let you be able to. You can read Quran. You study. You look halfway decent. You keep yourself nice and clean. You got good speech. You know about the deen and you practice the deen. You are what they will call, you are top shelf material. But 99% of the top shelf material, just like that woman saw that in you, 15 other women saw that in you. And by the time they get around to it, you already married. And the whole process, what happens is they can't get over that. Whatever women have going on, this whole, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in the translation of English, He says they are made for the most bent part of the rib. Don't try to straighten them out, or you will break them. I mean, I know what it means to me.
Well,
the tafsir.
Breaking them is divorcing.
Yeah. So I've never seen that. You gotta show me that too.
Sure.
So it seemed, for me, it would seem like trying to take them out of their element. If something is bent and you try to straighten it out, you'll break it, you'll crack it, take it out of its element. So basically the thing is that we have to be able to make our sisters, and first of all ourselves, because that's what they're looking for. The reality of the situation is, if you're a good dude, if you're a halfway decent dude, then sisters be willing to work with you, man.
Yeah.
They be willing to work with you, but the whole problem is that we looking at the guys all the time. We looking at us. You gotta provide, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. We understand that. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says. But we have to give the sisters that are out there, that are helping, that are sometimes holding it down. Like, you just got out of jail and she working, and you looking, she holding it down.
Well, look, let's take a quick break. We're gonna take a call, inshallah. I want to hear from some of our callers tonight and see what they got to say about the situation, inshallah.
When you install doors, replace the back window, or maybe add on to your home, build a shed in your backyard, or build the dream home you always wanted. Look no further. Mission Associates Property Maintenance and Contracting will help make your dreams a reality. replacing quality work and honest Muslims. Smith & Associates will be your first and final stop, inshallah. Give them a call at 770-584-5993 or email smithatpnc@gmail.com. If you own multiple units, ask about our maintenance program, located in the Atlanta area and servicing surrounding cities. Smith & Associates Property Maintenance and Contracting, 770-584-5993. Have an idea? Give us a call.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so now let's take a caller. And what we want to know from our callers, how do you feel about a brother saying, okay, I have a wife, but I want to marry you, but you know, he's a good Muslim brother. He's really practicing his deen. He's really striving to do the right thing. But he says, I don't have really the money to take care of you 100%.
So what does he want to do?
So that's a protection for a lot of people. See, we got to be real. And that's the biggest problem. Muslims are not real with themselves.
But I think that's a problem for the sisters too. I think that's the problem that the sisters have. And
what's that?
That brothers who can't really afford to take care of another wife financially, who aren't elevated enough in their deen to be able to deal with it, and who are not emotionally, they're emotionally unstable themselves.
Well, see, that's it. And like I said, that's why we're saying.
Few of those.
That's why we're saying you have to stack. You got to stack one side.
You know what somebody asked?
Stack one side.
You know what somebody asked me one time? Somebody asked me. It was like, oh, you had 2 wives, whatever. Like this. What was the biggest thing? I said the biggest thing I could see, wallahi, was not money, was not any of that. It was that the people respect your Islam. The woman respects your Islam. Because if she respects your Islam, she know you're not just running around chasing tail. You know it's for a reason and you're trying to follow through. If she don't respect your Islam, then you're gonna end up being a pimp or a player or whatever type of. I'm just saying.
You're right. That's the hard truth. Okay, if we're gonna take a caller, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You're on the Hard Truth with your host, Muhammad Hard Truth Smith. Assalamu alaikum. First 3 digits 678, last 4 digits 6581. Are you there?
Apparently not.
Oh, they're there, but they're not there. Hello? Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Could you hear us? Can you hear us?
Hey, can you hear?
Yeah, you're breaking up real bad.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Can you hear us now?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, sis, give us your hard truth.
I can hear you.
Okay, give us your hard truth.
Hear you.
Yeah, just some extra one. Can you call back?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
This is. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The hard truth.
Wow.
Handle the truth.
Alhamdulillah. Let's hear it, sis.
Okay, so real talk. This is a very, very tough situation. This is a very touchy situation.
Okay. Can you start talking, please?
I am. I'm talking, but I hear echo.
We're not hearing you at all.
Can you hear me?
No, we're not hearing you at all. You're breaking up real bad.
Let me try to call back.
Okay,
Yes, that
inshallah.
sounds like
All right. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, for our people who are listening on YouTube, the number is 347-324-3601. That's 347-324-3601. 3601. We want to hear from the people out there. How would you deal with the situation? Especially if, say it's a sister and a brother come to you with this proposal, or if you want to marry a brother and he says, well, sister, this is all I can do. What do you say? What do you do? How do you approach that situation? Give us some feedback, inshallah. Now, let's get into the difference of being just and being fair. Now, I know you were talking about that earlier. Go ahead and get in trouble.
I'm gonna just say what it is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, Adl. He does not say fairness. And see, what happens is, what happens is this is one of the root causes of our problems. We don't sit with the shiyukh. We don't understand the Quran. We don't understand the deen. We get a showroom shake understanding of the deen. A sister passing you in the hallway with a fatwa. You done read a book or two, watched a YouTube lecture, and now you know what's going on. That's not Islam. You know, it takes, you know, a brother once told me that he did a course on Al-Fatiha and it took him 3 months. A 3-month course on Al-Fatiha. So we don't know our deen and we think we do. This is what the shuyukh say. They say there's 3 or 4 different kind of people. There's a person who knows and he knows he knows. Then there's a person who knows and doesn't know he doesn't know. Then there's a person who knows that he doesn't know. Most people fall in the category of people who don't know and think they know. When women say you have to be fair, that's not true. Fairness and justice are 2 different words. One begins with an F and one begins with a J. That means they're different. Fairness could be a form of justice, but when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about justice in the Quran, it's, for instance, like he said, if a person steals because they're hungry and there's no food available, you don't chop off his hand. All right? That's justice. But to say what would be fair is anybody that steals, we chop their hand off, right? That's fair. That's being all across the board. If a woman is married to a man in Islam and she has 6 kids, 7 kids, 5 kids, 4 kids, whatever the situation is, and he takes a second wife and she has 1 child or no children, do you think that when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said give them be just to them, did he mean they both gotta have the same car, the same size house? It's unnecessary. That goes against the principles of wastefulness. You're gonna put a one person in a house that's big enough for 6 people because that's being fair. If you buy me a dress, you buy me a dress. You know that
she don't need a dress. She might need shoes.
You know, and I think that's one of the big misconceptions. I think one of the major problems is something emotional that us as men don't understand. I just admit it. I just don't understand it. I understand the concept of, look, if I was a woman, I would, what? Who? You got another guy? I mean, what you mean?
You know what? I was asked before.
Look at that. Look at it.
My wife asked, she said, how would you feel if you already know where I'm about to go?
Yo,
how would
no
you
way.
feel if you had to share with somebody? I said, it's not in our nature, period. We're not even created like that. It doesn't work like that for us. You know, I went on my wife was on, she does sign language. And they had a sign language retreat where they had to go with the school to the sign language retreat, right? Where they go to and you had to get up right now. Oh, your mom Bilal said salam alaikum too. So your mom Bilal, he's watching us. So we get to the place and there's a woman there and she has 2 men.
That's polygyny.
I don't know what it is. It was crazy.
It's called polygyny.
But the woman sleeps with both of the guys, and they both sleep together too. So there's some
what?
Some nasty
No, see
things.
now you going through
I'm saying
limits.
no,
Boom.
they're transgressing limits.
Even bringing it up, transgressing limits.
But the point is, it's not something that is normal for a man as it would be for a woman. Women are different than men, and that's what women have to understand. They are totally different from men. You might have men that act like women, or you might have women that act like men, but that's not the way a lot of
Yo,
men.
men been doing. Yo, the reality situation is, man. I know everybody thinks they got a great man. I asked this question, and I was gonna ask this question to a general audience. I wish I had 100 people to ask this question to. 100 women. Would you rather your husband marry another woman, all right, or have that desire to marry another woman, but because of you and the way that he knew you were going to react, he held that for years. He held it in for 10, 20 years. He didn't marry a woman, but he wanted to. You know, what would be your decision? Would you say he should have married his sister, or he did the right thing and held his ground? What would be that situation? And the problem is women and men, we can't change Islam. This is the word, this is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And everything that we do, he has criterion for it. So, I mean, men are naturally like that. I don't care how pretty you are, I don't care how fly you are, how you talk, how much money you got, any of that thing that you say, you guys are wired different than us. You're just wired different. You guys, like, once you find a good guy, from my experience, I don't know everybody, but from what I've experienced is once a woman finds a good guy, a guy she can settle with, pretty much trust, he's pretty much this or that, she's cool. Knows he loves her, she's cool. Guys aren't really like that. I mean, they can love you to death. They may not go out and do anything or go pursue another woman, but believe me, they was in the mall or, you know, this is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to lower our gaze. This is why this is important.
Lower your gaze in America. Okay, we're gonna take our caller, inshallah. I think she's back. Let's see if we can get a good. And we have all these people in here from I don't know, where's 803 at? Is that Jersey?
I have no.
Yeah, Cleveland, Jersey, Georgia, Ohio. There are a lot of people on here. Okay, so we're gonna take a call, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Can you hear me now?
Yes, much better. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Give us your hard truth, sis.
This is a tough subject because the brother just mentioned, you know, what you guys mentioned that when if we were able to get other men, it would be it's a jealousy thing. Regardless of us being Muslims, it's still women. They're emotional. And I think for years, coming from Virginia, you know, being cheated on or not being told about another woman affected us for years and years and years and years. So now you come to us and now you want us to accept another woman, and now if you want us to accept another woman, now you want to take out of my household and give it to somebody else because you feel like it's the right thing to do.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question, sis. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it taken out of your household? See, this is why when Ali said something that was very profound. He said, we do not know our religion. And I ask you, is it truly taken outside of your household when Allah is the one who puts the sustenance in your household? So are you truly taking something out that Allah has written for you? Because really, you cannot take nothing away that Allah has written for you. No one can take it away.
That's like somebody comes to ask you for money on the street, you give them money, that did not decrease your wealth.
Exactly, because this is something Allah has already written. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but I think realistically, and remember, alhamdulillah, you know, some people practice, some people don't, and that's between them and Allah. But the realistic thing about polygyny and otherwise is that you come to a sister and you say, sister, I want to marry you. I have another wife, and you fully maintaining her. Or, okay? And now we're saying the only thing I can bring to the table is $1,000. Or boom, my mortgage is $2,000. So, what you want me to do? You know, should I settle because you want me?
Well,
or should I go find somebody else?
No,
that's the question we're asking you though.
She out of your league, and you can't, you can't play on that team.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that.
Listen, the thing is that what happens is we come into a situation and women will say something that they may agree to at first.
Yeah.
Good point.
Okay. Oh, yeah. You know, I'll take the $1,000. You know,
Sounding
I got
good.
a husband, I'm the husband, and money is the biggest problem.
Fitna.
That's why a lot of sisters are supporting or asking for a course because men are not even doing.
Okay, but listen. Hold on. Now, you see what she did? She never addressed the other stuff. So, sis, I want to ask you a question.
Never what?
You didn't.
Okay.
A lot of women, they focus on the money. Now, let me ask you a question. This brother comes in the door. He knows Quran. He teaches. He can protect you. He can be a companion. He can be someone to fulfill your desires with. He has all these other good things about him, though. But he just doesn't make that type of money because he's trying to live a halal lifestyle. What do you do? What's your hard truth?
Well,
okay.
So what I'm saying is, I understand that, and I understand what you're saying, and you know, it may work. It works for some people, but it doesn't work for everybody. I'm saying everybody has different.
Okay, but I'm not asking everybody. I'm asking you. I'm saying, what would you do? This brother, he fine. You know, his beard is glistening in the wind, like shh. You know, it's shining through the moon. You know, and his outer beard is like, mashallah, like wow, this brother, you know. And he always praying. He get up and pray in the middle of the night. He's there. He does everything Allah says. What do you do?
Man.
You know what?
That sounded like
that's like some crickets. That's like some crickets. That was some crickets right there. Go ahead, sis. Go ahead.
It depends. I mean, I want a good brother. I want someone in that who does that. But then, in the same token, am I settling? Because see, first of all, you have to when you're dealing with a sister, you have to understand the sister that you're dealing with. What situation was she in before you met her?
That's what it is.
Okay.
Because that makes a difference. Because you may be talking and brought who took care of a brother for years. You know what I'm saying? And was promised that he was gonna, you know, maintain her and he was gonna give her deen and he was gonna get in. He ended up not getting anything when the short end of the stick.
Okay.
You understand? So it really depends on the person and where they're coming from and what they're used to, because there are women that will accept that and accept $1,000 because they may just live within those moves. But I think it's unfair to talk about how we're so material, and it's okay.
It's not about, but it's not about being fair. It's not about being fair because she has the right to say yay or nay.
Listen, don't cut me off.
But she can say no.
The thing is that, yeah, she can say no.
So how's it about being fair or not?
What I'm saying is, you already know how it is. It's already the problem. I'm telling you, it may look good, smell good, feel good. He's leaning, he did, he comes to the table, but it's going to end up divorced. Because in the long run, this person that's used to living a certain way wants to continue living that certain way.
Exactly. And that's my point.
No, listen.
Hold on. Oh, you can't tell me to listen. This is my show. I ain't gonna tell you to listen. I said, this is my show. If you tell me to listen to my show, I want to talk. Hold on. All right, listen. Check this out, sis. Check me out.
You can't cut me off, brother, if I'm talking.
I know, but I want to stop you for a minute. I'm gonna let you finish, but I want to stop you for a minute. I want to ask Ali a question right quick.
Okay.
Ali.
Yeah.
Okay.
A sister comes to you. She says, "Brother Ali, I need a husband."
Yeah.
Now you have a wife,
Yeah.
right? And you have the means to take care of the sister.
Yeah.
But something's going on.
Wow.
The sister's beautiful in the face, mashallah. She recites Quran beautifully, but she don't have no arms. She can't cook for you, Ali.
You know what?
She doesn't have any arms. She cannot cook for you. She can't rub your back.
You don't have no arms.
She don't have no arms. Her arms is gone. Her arms is like this. She has no arms.
You're asking the wrong one because I'm a real softie, so that would probably
Okay.
push me to marry.
So I'm saying now. So my question is, you know, the sister is not. She's going to be handicapped in certain ways, but she can't do certain things.
Yeah.
Now, right?
Yeah.
Now, but you saying that you will still marry her?
Yeah, probably.
Why?
Because if she has good deen, if she has good character, that's more important to me. You know, it's like this. I understand her point. Her point is if she's living at a certain level, that she has to either maintain or she can. I mean, it's her choice to maintain that. She worked.
She can maintain herself.
No, listen, no. I'm saying they worked, or whoever it was worked up to get to that level. Now, depending on what your paradigm is you look like you're downgrading or whatever like this. For me, the most important thing for me is compatibility and someone that is moving in the same direction I am. If I want to learn Islam, I don't care if I don't have $1. I want to learn Islam. Now, I'm just saying that, but you have to live, you have to make money. But for me, it's not that important. What's more important for me is to learn my deen, because if I don't do that and I have all the money in the world, at the end of the day, when Allah asks you, what did you do with the time that I gave you? I made money. What did you learn of my book so you could follow it? Nothing. I was making money. Or I was chasing women, or I was playing baseball, or I was picking sports, or listening to music. Whatever you're doing besides that is going to affect that. And I think like what she's saying is, if it's a sister who's at that level where her lifestyle is you have never even lived that lifestyle, then you need to just go ahead and go somewhere else with yourself.
Yeah, she has that right.
No, I'm talking about you. You need to leave it alone. Like you need to go. If a sister's living, you shouldn't even go at that.
No, okay, but
I can have all the money, I can have a nice car, a nice house. It doesn't mean I'm less of a Muslim than the next sister, because
exactly, because that's your right. You're right. You are so right.
And so my whole thing is, even though I may be used to living a nice lifestyle, live in a nice house, drive a nice car, doesn't make me less of a Muslim for a person that's poor.
Hey, Abu Bakr was rich, right? Umar was rich, so that's not.
Uthman
was rich.
So I'm just saying that because I may have money, and I may have my own money, I'm not saying I'm not willing to be with someone who doesn't have as much money as I have. I'm just saying that you gotta come to the table with it. If somebody wants to be in a situation, you have to come to the table with a little bit more than $1,000. If you know I'm living.
Well, no, I mean, no. But he was using that as a reference point, because what if a sister who has a $600, $700 apartment, and you know her car is paid for? Every scenario is different. You have to look at it different.
That's
and maybe
that's what I just said. Every scenario is different.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Every scenario is different. So my whole thing.
Okay.
It depends on that, because it depends. It really depends, because you know, if you do have a good brother, and then you don't know if he's a good brother. You know, if you say,
yeah, you don't. Yeah, it's a lot of fakers.
You know, I'm gonna be willing to give up my life. Only maintain, because you tell me you're a good brother down the line.
Okay, well listen, sis. I don't mean to cut you off, but we got a lot of other callers on the line. And
We
we got to get them
appreciate
in,
your
inshallah.
time.
Jazakallah khairan.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate you guys.
You always give us some good, insightful input. We really appreciate that. Alhamdulillah.
Wow. She said found a, she said found a broke. Oh,
okay, alhamdulillah. Let's take our next caller.
She said go
find a broke. But I want to remind the people, the Prophet ﷺ said he looked into Jannah and he saw the poor and lowly. He saw the poor and lowly. Okay, next caller, inshallah.
Too much time watching all that money.
Welcome to the Hard Truth with your host, Muhammad Hard Truth Smith. Hello?
Caller number. Who are you speaking with, Muhammad?
I'm speaking with you, Sister Rashida. How you doing?
Oh, alhamdulillah. Well, you used to call out the numbers, so I don't know.
Well,
who might be on the phone.
I realize now that the operator tells you you're on the line.
Okay,
yeah,
okay. I guess I did just hear that, but I was used to you saying it.
Okay.
Anyway, let me just get right to the point. First of all, I don't like to call in often, and I call in because I feel like a lot want me to, and I'm pressed, I'm nervous, I'm stressed, and all that to call in. Because it's not that I just want to hear myself talk. So, Bismillah, I call in because I really am serious about the religion and care about Muslims and establishing the religion, and that the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam be successful. So, and I'm older, and I'm headed to the grave, and I ain't playing no more. So I never did play, but I'm really serious now. I'm quite serious. And I want to tell you, most of your show was full of up and down voices, hard could hear it. I don't know. It's not my phone because I heard what they just called. I heard it clearly.
Okay.
And I heard your voice sometimes. In other words, the show wasn't clear at all mostly tonight.
We're working on a better. We're working on getting a better sound system though. We're working on that, inshallah.
Well, I hope so. But anyway, let me make the point. First of all, I've been in polygyny 2 times actually, and I'm about to go in it again. Inshallah.
Allahu Akbar.
And not one brother for no. I have not married one brother for no money.
I know that's what I know.
I married for
Dean.
First of all, my desire to be married, and it always was from age 14 up. So I've been looking for a kind, balanced brother, and now that I'm Muslim, I'm looking for one that's sincere. That's the criteria, sincerity. And so I've married brothers who I believe what they said was true. I did my investigation to the level of understanding that I had, like the brother Ali said, you need to know your religion. And if you know your religion, but further, you have to have also, even if you know your knowledge, if you have knowledge, you still have to have sincerity. You got to bring sincerity to the table. So every brother I've married, to make a long story short, I married him based on my capabilities, my heart, my neon, and I call it my resume, what I bring to the table as a wife. I married brothers based on what I knew I could do and what they would expect. Now they all said they accept this and that. I got divorced from 2 of them because they lied. But I still remain the same, and those people to this day respect me. Now, I'm about to, inshallah, Allah bless me, I'll get married again. Now remember, I'm an older sister. So and behold, it appears that Allah is answering my prayer. The brother is kind. The brother is kind. The brother is, loves the Lord. His background from childhood, he's not as old as I am, but he's still in his 50s. And he lived a good, clean life. Allah said, if you were good in the world, you're good with guidance. He didn't drink. He didn't smoke. He's a foreigner, by the way. And that's neither here nor there. But, cultural backgrounds do make a difference. No sister should marry for money, but if she's going to marry for money, she needs to make sure she gets the guy with the money. And that's based on the last call. You need to marry someone with the money. Don't lie to yourself. Don't even think about marrying no brother who ain't got the money you think you want him to have, because you're going to be disappointed. But even sisters who have money, want money, got money, they need to learn their deen and the humility, because a lot can change that wealth and you can get poor. You sick and lose your job, lose your wealth, and be poor as the next person. Don't care what you got. See, a lot of people, they're very important for men and men by turn. So you might have it today and don't have it tomorrow. So you need to marry for good character. good character, love Allah, love Him, and give thyself the closer to Allah, get yourself closer to Allah. In sincerity, Allah is Razak, Manan, Ba'alam, all His names. Bismillah, Alabam, all of the names you call from Him, and He provides. Go ahead. All right.
You there?
Have a good night.
Okay, Jazakallah, sis. Alhamdulillah.
I hope you get the message.
Yes, ma'am. We did,
It's the
inshallah.
name of the game.
Alhamdulillah.
So thank you very much, Muhammad.
Jazakallah, we
The
always.
microphone was right in there, so I can hear. This was a good show, but it was so not good tonight.
Okay,
So
alhamdulillah.
thank you very much.
Jazakallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. You know, I love what Sister Rashida calling her. She be dropping some jewels on us. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Next caller. You're on the Hard Truth with your host, Muhammad Hard Truth Smith.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I just want to say big up to the Sister Rashida.
Alhamdulillah.
She said big up.
Big ups.
She was all points for her comments. And I just got one more comment, real quick.
Okay.
It says a good brother with proper intentions that is hustling for his being number one, be the best Muslim he can be. If he has $1,000 to contribute to my household, I got another sister who I will split that with so he can get him the extra ride. Not just one.
Alhamdulillah.
Wow.
And why is that, sis? What is your reasoning behind that?
Because if we truly want for our brothers and sisters, what we want for ourselves, we should be willing to make concessions on something like that alone.
Allahu Akbar.
If we really look at it, the other sister was right when she said money is the biggest problem in society in general. So that all of the problems that stem from money, why wouldn't we be ready to make a concession where the money is concerned, especially when you are faced with a good peaceful brother? Why?
Wow.
I
don't even know what to say.
work and I have no problem with contributing. And there's many sisters out here who don't have a problem with contributing. We need to come together. We need to hold our brothers and our sisters up. We don't need all the money in the whole world. We don't need all of that because we don't need a big $2,000 mortgage home. Do we really need those things? I understand that's what we want, and some of us feel like we work so hard and that's what we aspire to. I understand that. But you know what? Fortunately, for those of us who are not even so interested in those things, who are more interested in the akira.
Thank you. That's the point. The point is when do we start thinking about the akira? This world is not going to last forever.
If you show me a good brother with proper intention, okay, who's not running around a trustworthy brother and a dependable brother, because like the sister Rashida said, I want him to pick up all of your liquid, all of your resources, you can take that in the blink of the eye and leave you with nothing.
Exactly.
Possibly, if you're lucky, a good man to depend on.
I could be done the show right now. I can never get backwards. That is the point I'm making. That is the point I'm making.
You show me a brother with $1,000 to contribute, and I got another sister who I put that with.
Alhamdulillah.
And she and I both work.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you. And you gentlemen have a good day. You're doing a good service for the community.
Thank you, sister. Thank you very much, sister. Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. I think we probably need to get that sister information for some brothers. Okay, next caller. Welcome to the Hard Truth with your host, Muhammad Hard Truth Smith. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I think we're missing the point altogether. First of all, I know the topic, should a sister coming into marriage, polygamy, or any other marriage, be willing to contribute. I believe that we're forgetting that we are living for the afterlife. We're living for Jannah. We're not living for this world and thousands of dollars and, you know, whatever. You can't take any of that grade for us. You can't take any of that money and grade. It won't count on, you know, Yom Kippur when we stand before Allah. Subhanahu wa ta'ala will stand with nothing but our deeds. So, me, if I'm put in a situation where I'm coming into, you know, marriage and I'm going to be a second wife, third, fourth, or the first, and I see that my husband is struggling. He has, you know, a job that doesn't pay a lot, or I'm having some issues or whatever. There's no problem with being able to contribute to your household. You actually get butterflies from being able to contribute. I think a lot of, you know, sisters, I'm not going against the sisters because, you know, I am a sister, but I think a lot of sisters miss the point of a marriage. You're completing half your deen. This is your part of your, you know, gateway to Jannah. It doesn't say anything about marry the brother with the most money. You know, marry your brother so you don't have to work. Because I would look at it as, if I'm able to contribute, this is more blessings for me. You know, and that doesn't mean you have to go out and work a 12-hour shift or pull an all-nighter or whatever. You can sell things. You can sell baked goods. You can sew abayas. You can babysit. That's contributed to your household. That's bringing blessings on you. That's getting closer to Jannah. So, I mean, if the brother works, he makes $8 an hour. He's able to pay the rent. Why can't you sell pies to pay the light bill? I mean, I don't see the point of I gotta have somebody who's bringing more than me to the table. That's greedy. That's greedy. And there's several items in the Quran about, you know, someone, you'll be questioned on the last day about how you spent your money, and did you share your money, or did you pay the kind? Did you have excess? What did you do with your excess? Were you living beyond your means? Did you need $1,000 mortgage? Did you need to drive a BMW? You worried about this life. What are you putting forward for the next life?
It said we will be questioned.
The mirage. This was not.
Sister, it said we will
not
be
the end of it all.
It said we will be questioned about the enjoyment that we had. SubhanAllah, not just.
Right.
I mean, just the enjoyment. Anytime you laughed or smiled or cut a joke or all that, we will be questioned about that.
You know what?
Right. So, I mean, why wouldn't you think you'll be questioned?
You know why? You know why?
When we have brothers and sisters in Syria who eating bones, they're starving. You throw away, you'll be questioned by every grain of rice you throw away.
SubhanAllah. You know why?
Every drop of water you waste.
The thing is like this.
So, I mean,
the reality I see it is this. I see it like something like this. If a person asks you what you were, most people gonna say I'm American. I'm a Muslim first, so that overrides that. My nationality has nothing to do with anything except maybe the way I talk, maybe the way I dress, maybe how I view things. But I'm a Muslim first, so that's our criteria. When people ask me about my history, I say my history is the history of Rasulullah and what happened to that, because that's what benefits me. To be honest with you, that's what really benefits me. And I think like what you're saying is so poignant, because it's like the people are not understanding Islam. They're understanding it from looking through the eyes of people raised in America. And this is the main issue that I was talking about. I said, you know, I asked a brother one time, I was like, yo, if you come to my crib and you want some water, right? If you come and I pull a glass out the sink that's already used and I offer you water, are you going to drink that? No. So I said, how you think it is when Allah says in the Quran, in the English translation, and they translated to say that He will not accept wealth and sons on that day. He will only accept the qalb as-salim, a pure heart. So if we're not working toward purifying the heart and all these little things you do, I told somebody before, I think a sister's road to Jannah is polygyny, because it's hard on her. It's hard on her. It got to be hard on her. The emotional stress alone is hard on her. If she can grin and bear that, subhanAllah, she got to get Jannah. It doesn't mean nothing else.
I'm gonna tell you something. There's an old saying, and the sister mentioned something about helping out. What if the brother got injured? What if the brother lost his job?
Oh, you got that's a cooler.
Right.
I mean,
that's cool time.
There's an old saying. It says when poverty comes through the door, love goes out the window.
Real talk.
And it's sad because as Muslims we shouldn't deal with it like that. You know, I'm gonna tell you one thing about my wife. When I went through my hard times in my fitness, she held me down. You know, and Allah blessed me to be able to recuperate and like, baby, you ain't gotta do nothing else. I got this. You see what I'm saying? And Allah allowed me to do that because I understood what she went through. You understand what I'm saying? So I was able to say, you know what? Ain't that right, babe? Okay, anyway. So the bottom line is, it could be a situation where you get hurt. You know, brothers get incarcerated. It could be, you don't have to do nothing haram to get incarcerated.
You know what we gotta look at? You know what we really gotta look at? The reality of the situation is this is what it is right here. And this is sad, but it's just the truth. Our sisters don't got a lot of choices. They don't got a lot of choices. And it's really sad for them because they don't have a lot of good choices, man. Everybody that got a beard and a kufi and walking around talking about they on this shit, they on the hawk, whatever, they're not good people. They're not working, or they're abusers, or they don't. You know, because our job is the emir of the household, is the emir. We're supposed to be leading them towards Jannah, bi'idhnillah. But if it's based on other factors, because Rasulullah said about women, about choosing wives, you say the same thing about men. You choose the first thing you choose them for is their piety. The first thing we choose people for is how pious they are. Because listen, I'm telling you, man, the reality of the situation is the ummah doesn't have iman. The people don't believe. You can't believe.
I gotta work on mine.
I gotta work on mine too.
I'll close my little statement. Inshallah, hope I didn't offend anyone.
You did good. Alhamdulillah. God bless you.
The truth is the truth.
This is the hard truth right here. This is all we talk about. Okay, Jazakallah khair.
All right.
Okay, alhamdulillah, the sister, she made some good points also, and you have to look at it. What if, because a lot of people say, I need this man to come in the house, like you get these crazy diaries, $50,000 diaries. You gotta have this, you gotta have that. What if Allah take all that? What if Allah just remove all that? Then what? Then what? But what if you marry this poor man and Allah, like Allah says, that when the family increases, what does he do? He increased the risk. He increased the risk. So what if you marry this poor man, fi sabilillah, for the pleasure of Allah, wajhulullah, for the face of Allah, you marry this man totally for the face of Allah. You put your trust in Allah. Allah said, you know what? Since you did that, because she did this, there you go.
Let me tell you,
drop something on you.
I have to ask Allah for forgiveness, and the brothers that do this for forgiveness. One time on Facebook, I made a joke. About the brothers. I did a little meme or whatever about the brothers that's selling turtles, 2 for $5 turtles or whatever, and they're trying to get 4 wives, right? And this dude came on there and he said, brother, that's wrong because of this and that. And I said, you don't even know what I'm talking about, man. You don't even know the type of people I'm talking about. So, I went for him. I felt like he was coming at me, so I off his head and I dissed him real bad. So then, right, I felt bad, so I apologized to him, and I come to find out that he was a teacher at, I think, El Porta or somewhere. He was a teacher at either Azhar or El Porta. He was a teacher at one of those. Yeah, for real loud. And he was like, we get your point, but he says, never discourage brothers or people from. He said he's out there doing something, like even LA. Even LA, he's out there hustling every day. He's selling the movies and whatever he does. But he made me realize something that I thought was funny. because, you know, dudes that know they can't do it be trying to do it. You know you can't do it, but you're gonna try to do it anyway and hope something fall into place. But the reality of the situation is like the sisters were saying, everybody had great points. If you can't afford a sister, don't go after her. If her zip code is above your pay grade, don't do it to yourself.
I disagree.
I mean,
Because that right there, Allah can increase. All right, let's do like this. The Prophet ﷺ married Khadija.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He took over her business.
Yeah, but that's not.
Okay, that is an example.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about the man who married the fourth woman? He didn't have any money, and then he married the fourth woman.
Kept telling him
they took over. The Prophet ﷺ let him marry each woman. He took over the last woman's business and was able to provide for all of them.
We talking about Sahaba here. We talking about people in 2016.
Okay, but there's some situation. Sabiqun, right?
Yeah.
Allah said what in Surah Waqia? He said there'd be Katiram from there'd be a lot from the earlier generations, and there'd be few from our generation, right?
So inshallah,
so it could be some
people.
The thing is, it's based on if we're doing it for the pleasure of Allah. That's what it's about.
So really, basically, everything we talk about goes back to taqwa and iman.
That's what it goes back to.
Because like
this is that dunya.
Yo, you know what ayat I just thought about when he says that that shaitan will tempt you with the fear of poverty.
But he was. Yep, you better believe it.
And you know what? That's real.
And that's what a lot of women want security. That's their biggest thing. Their biggest thing is I want to be taken care of.
That's why I mean, and that's their right according to Islam.
Yeah, that's their right. No one's taking that from them. Okay, let's take our next caller. Welcome to the Hard Truth with your host Muhammad Hard Truth Smith.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum. Yo. What's up, sis? Give us your hard truth.
Let's go back because I wanted to give a different point of view. I was raised with my mother being the first wife and 2 others. And my stepdad had 12 children from 3 women that are still considered my umi. I love all my brothers, took care of all of his wives, didn't have to work, paid all the bills. And the women still sometimes have problems with each other. But I think that it's not so much that women are not willing to enter from listening. I think it's the problem is the man. Because I saw my stepfather play his position. He gave his wife all the equal time, spend time with the children. And if he needed help, the wives contribute. It was a family. It was everybody working together, and that's what it has to be. And what happens is you bring in another wife that says that she's willing to be a part of whatever you have, but then really she wants to be the main. She wants to be the main person. You know what I'm saying? And when you're talking about being, I think everybody has to be on their being. But the man is the head of the household. So if he's not on his being and making sure that everything stays the way it needs to stay, then it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. And I just feel that I think a lot of women are not against it. It's just the fact that it's how men do things. Because I was actually in a situation that I wasn't being maintained at all. And I was willing to, do whatever to take care of my family, for my husband to be on, to get to where he needs to be. And if he wants to get another wife, I'm doing that. But I think it's really the male who really calls the shot. And a lot of women who feel that the brother wants another wife, they may be feeling like they're being replaced because they're not fully being maintained or getting everything that they need from that person, and then now you're looking for another wife.
You know what? Can I ask you a question, sis? Can I ask you a question? Why do women feel like they're being replaced? Why do women feel like men? why do women feel like they're being replaced? Men, we love our wives. I mean, most men that I know.
I can't explain that. It's a woman thing. I mean, it's because only women who feel like they're being replaced is if they're not getting everything that they need from that person. Okay?
Is it everything they need or everything they want?
No, let me tell you. Everything that they need. You may have a husband, okay, he's paying the bills, and, you know, he prays and he teaches her, but he may not be giving her sexual side. He may not be getting, you know, taking her on dates, making her feel sexual, making her feel like, I love you, and, you know, the things that women need. And now you tell me you want another wife. So what, you're not happy with, you're not giving, you know, I'm not giving you what you need, so you probably need another wife.
Wow. Men and women think totally different.
So women, and then what happens is, then what happens is the other woman comes in, and now the first, and the first wife is feeling like she's being replaced, and then now it becomes sickness. Now it becomes a problem. Now you have problems, and it becomes more than what you wanted out of the situation.
It also depends on the people that's involved.
Okay, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khairan, sis. Are you there? Oh, she must have called out. Okay, I want to read some of the comments we got on Facebook. One sister says, I think that the brother and sister should come to a common ground because at the end of the day, it is for deen, not money. But will the brother allow the sister to work in or outside the home so that it makes it easier for the whole family, both homes? In the long run, as far as the financial standpoint. That's a very good point, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, people be talking.
Jazakallah khair, sis. Also, we have another comment. The sister says, she says, okay. Okay, so here would be some of my areas of discussion if marriage was on the table with a brother and I had to pay bills. 1, Hajj, a 5-year plan, a 5-year Hajj plan will be put in place. Multiple wives is not a requirement, but Hajj is.
No,
actually, Hajj is not a requirement. Hajj is
for,
if you read,
if you understand it, if it's affordable.
It's something you can afford to do.
Subhanallah.
I don't see brothers breaking their necks to make Hajj like they are to get another wife. Number 2, time. I would definitely want equal time, which is something a lot of people fail at, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've seen situations where the man's first wife's like, I need you to come do this. Why the kids need this? If they'll throw things in there to keep you away from going to the other.
The bottom line of all of it is who are the people that involved. If the people, and it's the man's choice, if he picks good women, they will understand each other and they will understand
no one ever knows.
This is
no one ever knows.
I understand that, but like you do your best. You make dua, you make istikhara, you do everything you can, and you choose the women that you're directed towards, and you work on the situation. But when you go out because this one is fly, this one's pretty, or this one is whatever, and then you get some, then it's like, dang, man, yo, it's like, yo, I don't even remember one dude that divorced his wife since I've been a Muslim. It's cooler city, boy. It's cooler city, man. It's hammer time. Okay. Cooler time.
Number 3, conference. You would need to figure out a conference schedule.
Conference?
I guess communication time, talk time. That's all I can see that means. Household. At no point would money be expected to pay bills at the other house. Children. At no point will I be considered an authentic babysitter on my off nights. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So she's saying, on her off nights, she's not watching the other ladies' kids while they go out. And I know this sister she had a very bad polygyny situation. Allah reward her for her patience. I mean,
yeah, it sounds like a jaded. Sounds like she's jaded.
Well, it's what she's been through, and she said she don't want to go through it again.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, But
she did tell me to mention that she don't want it to be a deterrent for people to get into polygyny. So alhamdulillah, we're gonna take a quick break. Those people on who are watching us on YouTube, the number is 347-324-3601. I want to hear from some of our brothers now. I want to hear what, you know, we got a lot of sisters on the line calling in and everything. I want to hear from some of the guys. You know, what did the guys take on the show?
They got nothing to say. That's why they hide. They're like, I'm trying to get a wife, so I ain't really trying to like hear nothing.
Inshallah, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back, inshallah. That's the hard truth.
It's real talk, man. Because they ain't the right to do.
Increasing shower doors, replace the back of window, or maybe add on to your home, build a shed in your backyard, or build the dream home you always wanted. Look no further. Mission Associates Property Maintenance and Contracting will help make your dreams a reality with prices, quality work, and honest Muslims. Mission Associates will be your first and final stop, inshallah. Give them a call at 770-504-5993 or email kidsapnc@gmail.com. If you own multiple units, ask about our maintenance program. Located in the Atlanta area and servicing surrounding cities. Mission Associates Property Maintenance and Contracting. 770-504-5993. Got an idea? Give us a call.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, everybody. We need some money. So if you want to have a commercial on our show, if you want us to do a commercial for you, inshallah, let us know. Email me. You can email me on Facebook, or you can email me at IslamicIslandRadio@gmail.com. We're going to start doing commercials for people who have businesses, who want to put their businesses on our show, inshallah. And we'll give you a commercial like that. Was my personal commercial. My number's on there for the people who need work in the Atlanta area or surrounding areas. The number is 614-216-2962. So if it's, you know, we're pretty good at remodeling bathrooms and just fixing up houses, you know, alhamdulillah, that's what we do. And our brother here makes these type of, this ain't your shirt, is it? He didn't make this shirt. But he makes nice sweatshirts and t-shirts with Islamic sayings and writings on. So inshallah, when he gets his commercial together, we'll put it on the show so people
and I do IT.
And he does IT, alhamdulillah. So
what?
Difficulty of polygyny in Western society, in America.
Oh, that's basic.
But we're not talking about all the things we talked about already. I'm talking about now with the financial aspect.
That's what seems to be your concern, bro.
Well, that's the biggest thing, because my thing is,
man,
if we're talking about the Africa, then we have to be able to forego some things. Yeah. Unless we move to another country where the cost of living is, because really, you know what? Say I own 3 or 4 houses here, right?
Yeah.
And I rented them out, and I lived in another country. I'm living good. Yes. I'm living real good. You know, it's not a hardship. But here, there's a hardship. You know, what about just owning the house?
You know, most of us, like that sister was a rare case. She said she grew up in a polygynous situation. Most of us didn't grow up like that.
No.
You know, any of us that took our shahada after our teen years or during our teen years, we knew you got a girlfriend, you got joints over here, joints over there, whatever it was. That's just part of society. That's just part of how society is. That's what we saw. Even our role models were doing that. You know, you was square, you was corny if you had one girl, whatever that situation is. So we learn how to sneak around and do this and do that and do this and do that. But Islam rectified all of that and said, listen, if you're going to do this, be responsible. Now, the funny thing about it is all these women that hate polygyny so much, I would be willing, no, I can't, we Muslims, so I can't gamble. I would be willing to hypothetically wager, what that means is not bet, but that whole bunch of their men is cheating. Or you know, these days it ain't even cheating. You don't even cheat no more because nobody's really like boyfriend and girlfriend anymore. It's just like we're hooking up.
Yeah.
What is that?
And you just say she's just a friend.
Yeah, you just have people just having sex,
just
having sex and stuff like this. No responsibility. It's a scourge on a society. Teenage girls are just. It's like
one of the signs of the last day as well.
What I'm saying is basically like this, man. And I'm gonna say this, and that's pretty much it about that situation. Real talk. Anytime I ever got in trouble in my life, anything ever happened to me, it never was my boys that was there. The boys was never there for me. It was always a sister. It was always a woman. My mom, my aunt, a girlfriend, a friend, a cousin, my sister, whoever. Whenever I really, really needed something, it was always them there.
Alhamdulillah.
So we can't act like they don't compromise or take, you know, we can't act like they don't maneuver for us. They've been maneuvering for us since slavery times. You know, looking out for us because we had it bad. We was who was being attacked. So now it's the same thing all over again. You know, they be looking out, man. We can't really knock their hustle. They be looking out for us on the real. You know, so if she can't accept that from you, if you say, look, I'm bringing this to the table and you know, whatever, so be it. Most dudes I know that can't afford to have 2 wives like that.
Most people can't, period. That's just, you know, it's almost.
No, you can, but it depends on what. Yeah, it depends on the people. What kind of standard of living is this person expecting?
Like I said, most of us live beyond our means. That's just the bottom line. We try to get the most expensive cars, live in the biggest houses, have the top-notch technology. You know, this is what we do. And then we say,
"This is for it."
I'm done. And then we say, and then, I don't know what it is. And then we say, I don't have no money for this. I don't have no money for that. People go to the movies 2 or 3 times a month. Cat, if you don't get out, come on here. People do things where they can't afford to do it. And then they complain about, well, I don't have the money for this. I don't have the money for that.
What do we just say? It's the Western viewpoint. Excess. Everything got to be in excess. Yo, I remember before we was Muslims, we used to go to McDonald's. They just had a hamburger and a cheeseburger. Now you can get something this big. You get soda. Not even real food. Not even real food. Soda's this big. Everything is in excess, and so you know we live way above our means. You know, if we lived at a normal rate, my mom told me. She said, whatever you make, always live like you got half of it. Mm. She said, if you make $500 a week, live like a person that make $250, and you'll always have money. You'll never be broke. Mm. My mom ain't broke.
That is
she's not broke.
That. I'm gonna live by that. Tell your mama I'm implementing that in my life.
Yo, it worked. My mom ain't broke, bro. Say that much. She said, live at.
So if you got 2 households, and you gotta live like you got 150 a week.
Yeah, basically. Because look, you think about it. If we all live at our means, it's like, yo, this is part of what the problem is, and it's not going to get off topic, but one of the things that the problem is that Muslims are not united to help each other. Muslims don't help each other.
No, that's not true.
No, listen, I'm not saying everybody.
Okay, because some communities, they come together, put money together for people to get married. Not us. I know.
We talking about us. I just want to say it, but
not Junebug.
Not Junebug. But listen, it's people here who are talented, who have skills, who have abilities, just don't have the money to get stuff kickstarted or, you know, different things like that. We don't help each other. It's very few and rare cases, and you know, people have helped me, and I try to help other people as much as I can. And, you know, people have, you know, done big things for me, helping me get my stuff off the ground, and may Allah reward them. But most people, I gotta do it for me. I can't be worried about you.
Let's take this caller, so I know it's this late.
Oh wow,
it's 10:50.
Yo, move.
You're on the Hard Truth with your host, Muhammad Hard Truth Smith.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. كيف حالك يا أخي؟
How y'all doing tonight?
We doing good, alhamdulillah. We got a brother to call in, alhamdulillah. The sisters are lighting the lines up.
Dominating.
Yeah, well, you know, one thing that I want to say is that the brother, he makes a good point when he says that we as a community, we're not helping one another the way that we should. There are some communities inside of the Muslim community at large that are prospering a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are some that are not. And this is a problem. This is a problem. So when it comes to polygamy, what usually happens is that a brother doesn't really understand it. And the reason why I say that is because I was inside of a polygamous, I did it for 12 years.
Wow. Bravissimo. Take my cookie off for you.
What you say, brother?
So we took our cookies off for you.
Cookies off to you.
12 years, that's a long time. I'm gonna lie.
It's not easy. And see, what sisters fail to realize is that when it's not all, especially for the brothers who are truly trying to do it for the right reason.
That's the key.
You'll find out when you get inside of that type of relationship that it's not a sexual thing. That is a part of it, but that's not the majority of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because that brother has to understand that he has more responsibility. Now, this is where the problem comes in. Because are we willing to step up to those responsibilities? Are we willing to do the things that it's going to take, the sacrifice that it's going to take? One example of that is that I was working in the oil field in Odessa, Texas. I worked out there for 4 years. Now, I had two families. I had to pay the rent at one place, and I had to pay the rent at another place. Where did that leave me?
Bro.
That left me in Odessa, Texas, without a place to live at except in my truck.
Wow.
Oh, because you had traveled to work.
You traveled to work.
Lived in my truck for 2 years. Because I had to take care,
He used all
step
three.
up to the plate, and be a man, and take care of these two individuals, these two families, because I had to have children by both of them.
Wow.
So this is the thing. Are we willing to step up to the plate? Now, did we learn properly from the previous generation of individuals that did it? That plays a part too.
Yeah, that's real
we
talk.
Learn properly how to do it.
Because part of the thing is
Again, like I said, go ahead.
I said a lot of the thing is this is what happens. A lot of times, brothers, you know, what it is they like a sister, they're attracted to her or whatever, and they get involved in it. But it's just like a pair of sneakers. When you first get the new Jordans, they fly and hot. But eventually you just play basketball in them. And you might love those sneaks, but they're not what they was. And that's the thing that brothers, you know, they following that thing. And then, like you said, once it gets down to brass tacks, bills start coming in, kids needing dinner work, school, then all that stuff that your first need out for it, out the window.
Well, Wallahi, you're correct, brother. Wallahi, that is correct, bro. And it takes resilience because we have to understand that the fun is not the majority of the time because you have to deal with two personalities. You have to be patient.
Who mad? Who mad at you?
Know how to
you got to know how to deal with both of them.
And most of us don't.
I don't want to divulge the secret, you know, but I'm gonna give you a little bit. You got to be telling both kids what they want to hear, man. I mean,
wow. Yo.
You have to.
The Imam told me about the yes fatwa. He said it's a fatwa going around. He said he just got it. He said he just got it in from it just came with Saudi Arabia on the telelink. He said the fatwa is yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. No matter what she say, yes, you're dear. Right. Yes, dear. Simple. You know, because you know what a lot of times the brothers don't really. I guess the brothers don't really look at. A brother gave me this book one time. A brother, may Allah reward him. He gave me this book called From Monogamy to Polygyny. It's a purple book by this. I think her name is Rumesa Hirschfelder. It's 3 sisters that are in polygynous relationships, and they was writing it. I mean, they wrote the book. Now the book is awesome because it comes from their perspective. They're telling you, as it was written for sisters, but they're saying what sisters are gonna go through, the phases, this, that, and this and that. And as a guy, to have a little bit of insight on that, when things happen, you'll be able to see like, oh, okay, this is what she was talking about. Because it's a jealousy phase and a competition phase and you know. And then they, you know, it's wild, man. It's wild. I just don't think most of us.
What was the best thing that you took out of that book? What would you say was the best lesson that you took away from that book?
I think the best things I got out of that book were the fact that the man's deen has to be respected by both women. They have to know that his Islam, that he's sincere, that he's worked hard, that he's going to do what he needs to do, that when he makes a decision, it's based on Allah, it's based on Allah and his messenger and nothing else. If they respect that, all the little bumps and bruises, if they real Muslims, all the bumps and bruises, you can get through that. But if they don't respect his deen, he just cute, or he got a lot of cash, or you know, he's the imam or whatever, ain't gonna work out.
Okay, alhamdulillah, Sheikh. Jazakallah khair for calling in.
Appreciate you
calling in,
bro.
About to cut off in a minute. I got to read this last thing from the sister. Jazakallah khair, inshallah. Okay, a sister said, she said, I hear so many sisters saying, I'm not, I won't, I can't. That might be why you're not married. Not to throw insults, but if you go into a marriage selfishly, then you can expect what you put in it. I don't understand how you can want to burden your husband with hardships should he fall on hard times. Once again, forgetting that our reward is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is Jannah, not what you can get out of the marriage, subhanAllah. While we say that we won't do and won't deal with, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it so that you have no choice and you have to do it, or put you in a position where you need assistance from the other side should you fall ill. Would you feel the same if she had the same selfish attitude towards you?
Yo, that was heavy.
That was very heavy.
You know why?
Hold on. We can't talk. We out. Inshallah, we out of time. We're about to shut off on us. So alhamdulillah, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Hard Truth tonight. Inshallah, we come on every Thursday night at 9 o'clock. Give us your topics and we'll put them on the air, inshallah. And with that being said, we are out of here, inshallah. We want to thank everybody tuned in tonight on YouTube as well.
One for your brother, what you want for yourself.
Yes, very much so. And also want to thank all of our callers who called in and chimed in with their points. We appreciate it. We want you guys to spread the word about our show. If you really like our show, tell other people to check us out every Thursday at 9 o'clock, inshallah. Before you go, I gotta listen to my baby, inshallah.
60 seconds. My daddy has to come home now. That's the hard tip. Assalamualaikum.
So until next time, until next Thursday, inshallah, we are out of here, and that's the hard truth. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.